Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the new interactive class of English. I am Roslyn, your English teacher. Today, we'll be discussing about the poem Wind from your class 9th English textbook of Beehive. Before moving on to the poem, can you tell me that have you ever seen wind or have you ever felt wind? The breeze, the soft breeze in the summer season relaxes us, gives us relaxation, makes our mind cool. We love the breeze during the summer season, but the breeze changes into wind when the speed increases during the rainy season. When the speed of the wind is increased, it causes a lot of destruction, havoc in the human life, in our atmosphere, in the surroundings. Now let us move on to the poem and just see what the poet wants to convey through the poem Wind. The poem was written by Subramaniam Bharti, but it is translated by A.K. Ramanujan. The poem Wind belongs to modern poetry. It is written in free verse, means no certain rules or regulations has been followed to write the poem. With unequal and unrhyming lines. The poem consists of 23 lines. The poem Wind inspires us to face the challenges thrown at us and to be firm in our determination. We should be strong enough to face all the hardships of life with courage. The wind symbolizes problems and obstacles that we all face and go through at some point of time in our lives. Wind, come softly. Don't break the shutters of the windows. Don't scatter the papers. Don't throw the books on the shelf. Scatter means here spread or move in different directions. In the first stanza, the poet requests the wind to slow down its speed. The potent wind breaks the shutter of the windows, scatters the papers, and throws down the books on the shelf. There, look what you did. You threw them all down. You tore the pages of the book. You brought rain again. You are very clever at poking fun at weaklings. Poke means here to push. Weakling means the weak. The wind tears the pages of the book and brings rain. The wind makes fun of the weak as they are made to face damages caused by wind in several ways. In this poem, the poet describes about the destructions caused by wind. The wind tears the pages of the book, brings rain, and destroys the daily life of the weaker section of the world. The strong winds represents the trouble in our life. These troubles are to be ignored. Frail, crumbling houses, crumbling doors, crumbling rafters, crumbling woods, crumbling bodies, crumbling lives, crumbling hearts. The wind god winnows and crushes them all. Here, the poet describes the destruction or the havoc created by the blowing wind. Frail means weak, crumble means to break. Rafter, log of wood used in the roof. Winnow, to blow chaff. Crush means to destroy. The poet suggests that they should or the people should build strong houses. They can face the wind only when they have strong heart. The wind breaks everything, whatever comes in its way. In our lives, wind destructs our daily routine. It hampers the spirit of life around. According to the poet, rain and wind were deeds of nature that are perceived as the tempest forces which destroy the old and evil inside a man in order to create joy and liberty in his mind. We won't do what you tell him. So come, let's build strong homes. Let's joint the doors firmly. Practice to form the body. Make the heart steadfast. Firmly means strongly. Steadfast means unmoved. The last four lines conclude the poem. The message is very clear that only the weak people are afraid of the difficulties. The strong people make the way through them. Wind is the natural phenomena which is very difficult to be predicted accurately, just as our problems which can arise from nowhere. It can hit us at any time of our life. It mocks the very being of being alive. For the frail people or the weak people, literally, wind creates barriers or the obstructions. Winds do not let a frail body or a frail mind to survive. But on the other hand, if you are strong, you have the power and the will to survive and fight back. Wind can never be a threat to a living being. Do this and the wind will be friends with us. The wind blows out weak fires. He makes strong fires roar and flourish. His friendship is good. We praise him every day. Already I have discussed about it. The last four lines concludes the poem. The message is given very clearly that only the weak people are afraid of difficulties. The strong people can make the way through them. Here roar means a loud sound. Flourish means to develop. I can say here, wind is invisible, but the effects it has on other aspects of this world are very clear and evident. This poem reflects upon both the constructive and the destructive paths taken by the wind. Wind is extreme and violent, but not necessarily every time with anger and emotions. Wind creates compassion, but at the same time in the human life. Sympathy also. Wind emphasizes the passionate, intense nature of the poet, while the decay and the death in the metaphor suggest the sacrifice and suffering of the humans. We also see that wind is a metaphor for the God's will because its effect in this world can be both beneficial as well as destructive. The literary devices used in this poem are the rhyme scheme. It is free verse. Already I have told you that no particular rules and regulation has been followed to write the poem. Anaphora. What do you mean by anaphora? When a word is repeated at the start of two or more consecutive lines. In the lines 2, 3 and 4, don't word is repeated there. In lines 6, 7 and 8, you is repeated. Wind is personified as giving the human feelings. The repetition of the word crumbling. Alliteration, repetition of the consonant sounds in close connections. Wind, winnows, won't, want. Symbolism, a thing which refers to some other things. Wind refers to challenges in our life. The difficult words, frail, weak or feeble, rafters, sloping beams supporting a roof. Winnows, blow grains free from the chaff. Separate grain from husk by blowing on it. Farm, make strong. Row, thunder, flourish, move ahead. Now the assignments for you. What challenges are posed by wind in the life of the poet and the common man? The second one, How does the wind become the cause of rain? I hope all of you must have enjoyed the poem by knowing both the constructive and the destructive ways of the wind. Thank you.